L.A.B. Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the 2018 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names of the 2018 NFL Draft. I'm your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me on this program as we're talking quarterbacks. And this quarterback draft class is one that has quarterbacks that come in all different shapes and sizes and talent skills and talent sets and skill sets. And this is one that he is so intriguing for so many different reasons. He can do everything that you need him to do, but will he do it when you need him to do it? And that's the question that we have run into with this next quarterback. And there was discussion as to whether he was a running back or receiver or quarterback, which he put to bed at the combine by saying, hey, I'm not going to do any of the agility drills. I'm not going to showcase my athleticism. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to jump or do any of the things that you guys already know I possess. I'm not going to tantalize you with any of that stuff because that's what you want me to do. You want me to entice you to take me as a receiver because I run a 4.37. You want me to show you that I can be explosive by jumping 44 inches in the vert. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to throw the football with my right arm. Now, there was mixed reviews leaving the combine at best. I didn't think it was a great day throwing the football by Lamar Jackson, but one thing's for sure, this guy possesses everything you need at the quarterback position to be an elite prospect at the next level. And just like my shirt, his future is extremely bright, and if put in the right situation with the right offensive coaches, this guy could be the ultimate weapon at the next level. Obviously, I'm talking about Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson. So let's talk about his pros first. Talk about what makes him such an intriguing prospect, and then we'll get to all of the cons. And believe me, there are a laundry list worth of cons that this guy's gonna have to work on at the next level in order to make his career a fruitful one at the quarterback position. But let's start with the pros. And we're talking to Lamar Jackson, arm talent. His arm talent is, without a doubt, one of the best in this draft. He's got one of those flick of the wrist type of arms where you flick it, it can go 40, 50 yards down the field, similar to Michael Vick. I think Vick's arm was stronger. Contrary to popular belief, Vick's arm was ridiculous. He had a cannon and literally flick of the wrist and Vick could throw it 60, 70 yards. I don't think Lamar Jackson's arm is that strong, but he's got the same type of whip where he just throws it and it can come out of his hand and it can come out with a ton of velocity. He can throw to all levels of the field with that kind of arm strength. Athleticism, look, I don't even really want to go into depth, just how much athleticism. This guy is dripping and oozing out of every nook and cranny of his body with athleticism. He's a quick twitch guy. He can change directions. He can run really, really fast in a straight line. But unlike Robert Griffin III, unlike Marcus Mariota, who were some of the best athletes we've seen come out the quarterback position, he's not a straight line guy. He can make you miss. He can change directions while running really, really fast in one direction and change to another direction, which is what you haven't gotten out of guys like Deshaun Watson, who are really more along the lines of a straight line runner. This guy can make you miss, sort of like a running back, which is why a lot of people wanted to put him in a box and say, hey, you're a running back or you're a receiver. He's like, no, but the athleticism does tantalize you, does make you wonder, hey, what could this guy be at ... position? But the athleticism is without a doubt off the charts, probably better than most receivers and some running backs in this upcoming draft. Throwing mechanics. I think his upper body, where he throws the football, it's fine. The arm, there's a whip with the football coming out. It's fine. I don't have a problem with his upper body. I don't have a problem with the way the ball comes out. So from that perspective, I don't have any qualms, any gripes. I think his throwing mechanics from the waist up, totally fine. I don't have any problems with the way he holds the football, the way he throws the football. It's not like he has a Byron Leftwich wind up that comes from the waist and all the way up. I think the ball comes out very quickly. It can go to its target expeditiously. I don't have a problem with his throwing mechanics. What we do have a problem with is the lower half, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But pocket awareness and mobility, obviously with his athleticism, the mobility in the pocket is stupid. his ability to get away. It's right up there with Darnold. I think Darnold is really underrated in that regard. I think he may have the best pocket mobility in this draft, does Sam Darnold, but right there with him is Lamar Jackson for obvious reasons. But nonetheless, his pocket mobility is ridiculous, and the awareness to know when guys are coming and where you need to go to get away from the pressure, that's also off the charts as well. And that's an innate thing with Lamar Jackson. He just has a feel for, okay, I got a guy behind me. I probably need to bounce and go up the A gap and get out of here quick, faster than, you know, before the pressure gets to me. And there's a play against Purdue where he shows you the pocket mobility and not looking to run necessarily, but still looking to throw the football. There's a rusher coming. He'll lose the rusher, buys extra time, slings it about 25 yards down the field to a receiver, breaking down the field in stride right in front of him, where he's able to catch the football and make a move up the field. And to me, that's the essence of what Lamar Jackson could be at the next level if he's able to put everything together and be a little bit more consistent. That's what he could be as a guy that could be a dual threat, hurt you with his legs, but also in the same breath, doesn't necessarily have to take off to hurt you with his legs, can extend the play to drive it down the field and hurt you in that capacity. Remember, we're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner here. All right, we're 1 year removed from this guy winning the Heisman and really not having it be close, because he struggled to finish up that season, but because he was so dominant early in that year, he had it locked up probably by week 10 of the college football season. So again, we're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner here. Let's not forget that. Moxie and poise. There are a number of games that you can cite where you talk about his moxie and his poise. I go back to 2016 and that Clemson game on the road. That's a tough environment, Death Valley. You're the marked team there. You're looking to try to go in there and win a game. They hadn't been in a situation like that before at Louisville under Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position, and yet they went in there and they were game. And if not for some mistakes that they ended up making in that ball game, they would have come out with a win there, and maybe their season is totally different. Maybe they're playing for the national championship instead of Clemson if they're able to win that football game. Maybe things go totally different, but I thought he was excellent on the road in that game, especially early in that ball game. Gave them an opportunity to go into Clemson and to steal that game. Leadership and intangibles, I think that's something else that he brings to the table. There are a couple of games where I saw teammates dropping the football, some struggles. Did he ever get down? No. I thought he did a really good job of, you could see some frustration in certain games, definitely, where guys would drop a football on a third down and they got to come off the field and there wasn't a rhythm involved in what they were doing. Yeah, you could see that, but it wasn't, hey, let me point you out and let me point at you and tell you that you're the reason this is happening. It's not like show up a guy. It's, hey, let's get our heads out of our asses. Let's get our heads back in this game. Let's go out and make some plays and let's try to win this football game. And you saw that from him. There was a little bit of pouting going on, though, I will say. But again, that's something that comes with being young. And again, that's not something I'm going to beat him up for. I think when you've had as many drops as he had and some of the lack of talent, he didn't have a ton of talent around him at the skill positions. And you got to feel like you're doing it all yourself. You can become somewhat frustrated with what's going on around you. So I didn't want to beat him up for that at all. Durability. For a guy that runs as often as he does, and look, they ran it with Lamar. When I say they ran it, it wasn't like Clemson with Deshaun Watson where, you know, they would sprinkle in read option and every night, you know, he was going to get his 7 or 8 touches running the football. No, they ran it with Lamar Jackson. Like, you knew he was getting 12 to 15 carries a game. They were running power with the quarterback power. Like, they weren't playing around. Like, you weren't even, this wasn't even read option. This was fake dive. All right, go block. I'm running. Okay, you knew it was coming. And this was on 3rd and 7 in certain instances. Like, they weren't even trying to hide the fact that they were running the route. So this guy, for all that he did, and the slender frame and the slight frame that we referenced, this guy ran it, and he didn't get hurt. So there's some durability there with Lamar Jackson, despite his slender frame. He's got some durability, man. And that's really good to know, because you can do some things with that, and he can protect himself, and that's a good thing to know. But for all of those pros, there's a con for each and every single one of them. So let's jump into his cons. Measurable. All right, 6'2", 216. Look, That's right, Robert Griffin III size, which is scary because he was very breakable at the next level. Now, granted, he couldn't protect himself in or outside of the pocket. So that made it a lot easier for him to end up being made of glass. I don't think Lamar Jackson is the same guy. I think he can protect himself a little bit better. I think he can protect himself, A, in the pocket, and B, he can make guys miss, but when he doesn't, he can get down on the ground. And you've even seen him lower his shoulder. I wouldn't advise him doing that at the next level. But again, I think his measurables are just fine. The 6'2" doesn't scare me. The 216, it's kind of slight, but he'll be fine. I'm not worried. Footwork. This is the biggest concern with him because when we talk about inaccuracies, Josh Allen, the same thing. When you talk about inaccuracies, and I think it's a little bit worse for Lamar because even the underneath short to intermediate stuff isn't always accurate. You're seeing guys having to adjust the balls that they shouldn't have to adjust to, you know, simple little concepts where you're talking about a dragger across the field. You're talking about an out-breaking route on a quick speed cut. These are all things that you should be able to complete these with accuracy in your sleep. And yet you're seeing guys having to jump, turn backwards to adjust, go up in the air, leave their feet to go and get the football. Just certain things that you would love your quarterback to be able to do. And his footwork, Lamar Jackson, his base is way too narrow. And it's almost like he's throwing the football flat-footed. And there's no stepping into a throw. There's no, and that goes to show you that there's arm strength there because he still gets it there, but it's not in the accurate fashion that you would like. And a lot of it stems from the fact that his base is just way too narrow. When you watch him throw, his feet are almost literally shoulder width apart, but a little bit inside of that. I mean, just imagine standing with your feet shoulder width apart and then bring them in just a little bit more. And you're like, how the hell can you even throw a football that way? So, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. Stop asking. But in any event, because of that footwork, you get accuracy issues, sort of like me trying to say the word accuracy just now, throwing it short, intermediate, and deep. Like, he's not accurate enough for me in any of those levels. Again, you can't throw a shallow crosser behind a guy or too high for a guy or too far out in front of a guy. That can't happen. But I saw it happen. Okay? That dig route over the middle of the field, I need that. That comeback, that outcut, I need that to be on the money. You make a mistake there, that's a pick six at the next level. You can't throw the outbreaking route to the inside. That's a pick. So I just need him to be more accurate with the football. You get a guy winning on a corner route, and I saw this. You get a guy winning on a corner route in the NFL, you gotta hit that. That's big chunk yardage. I need it. You can't overshoot that guy by 6 yards over his head. Or you can't throw it at his feet as he's running to the post. Okay? Or he's running to the corner. Guy runs a beautiful post corner, breaks a dude off, wide open. He's got 5 yards of separation, and you throw it 2 yards towards out of bounds. I can't have it. And so you'll see that from Lamar Jackson again. It all stems from his footwork. So short, intermediate, and deep accuracy, all question marks with Lamar Jackson moving forward. Processing speed, I don't think he processes what's going on around him fast enough. I think he needs to speed that up a little bit. But again, what I would do with him is I would simplify things until he gets comfortable. And again, if you fix the offense to tailor what he does well, you've got a guy that can be effective at the next level. Okay, but are you willing to tailor your offense to the strengths of Lamar Jackson? Are you willing to dumb down some of the things? And I hate using the word dumb down because then it implies that a guy can't commit certain things to memory and can't use his brain to figure things out. And it makes it seem like he's incapable of doing certain things. But I feel like that's exactly what you would have to do at this point with Lamar Jackson if you were to start him early. To me, he's not a guy that should see an NFL field unless it's in a package capacity in terms of, hey, we got a Lamar Jackson package where we're going to get him on the field and we've got 6 to 8 plays in any given game where we can put him on the field and he can hurt you, throw it, run it, whatever. But in terms of him actually being a week in, week out NFL starter, I just don't see, unless, again, you bring in a coach that is going to take everything that he was doing before, throw it out the window, and say, this is what we're going to do now because this is what Lamar does really well. Accuracy on the move. For a guy that runs as well as he does, and can throw it, he doesn't put the two together. All right. What good is your athleticism and your ability to escape the pocket and extend plays if you're inaccurate when you get outside the pocket? Now, I've seen him make some accurate throws, but I've seen him make more inaccurate throws on the move outside the pocket than I have him make moves and throws that I say, wow, that's breathtaking. And you put it together with his athleticism, and that's supposed to be one of his strengths, but it's not. So, again, I have a problem with that, with Lamar Jackson. Decision making. This one for me is more along the lines of, I saw a guy in 2017, unlike the guy in 2016 that won the Heisman. I saw a guy that was pressing. I saw a guy that said, all right, if I don't do it, nobody else will. So with the decision making, I tend to scale my disappointment back a little bit in 2017, because when you watch the 2016 Lamar Jackson, he wasn't making some of the mistakes that he made in 2017. You could tell less talent around him. He felt more of the pressure to have to do everything himself, and hence some of the decisions and some of the mistakes that were made. So I'm willing to bite the bullet on 2017 Lamar Jackson versus 2016, where I saw a guy that was a lot more confident in the playmakers around him and his ability to get everybody the football and guys to make plays when those opportunities came. There were a lot of drop balls, a lot of guys running some irresponsible routes and things of that nature where everything didn't come together the way that it should or the way that it did the previous year. And it led to Lamar feeling like, all right, I got to do this myself. And sometimes you get forced decisions and bad decisions going with the football in certain places where you're like, come on, Lamar, you can't do that. You can't predetermine, I'm taking this shot 25 yards, 30, 45 yards down the field in double coverage. You can't do that. That's a no-no. So I'm not going to kill him for decision making, but I'd like to see it improve. And then timing and anticipation. Again, with the strong arm quarterbacks, a lot of times they don't throw with timing and anticipation, at least not the way you would like them to. You could go ahead and throw Lamar Jackson into that discussion as another guy that I think wants to see it come open first before he lets it go. Don't wait until that dig route shakes free. Bang it, okay? You know he's supposed to be running a 12-yard dig. Bang it. When that head comes around and that defender tries to turn his head, that football should be whistling right past that defender, right to your guy in his hand. Don't wait until he clears, all right? Especially if you got man-to-man coverage. Let it go. Let it fly. If it's zone and you know, okay, I can see the linebacker in front of me dropping. He's not going to get there. Cut it loose, man. Cut it loose into that window. Bang it. And a lot of times, he needs to see it. He needs to see a guy uncover before he lets it go. And again, at the next level, that's going to get you into trouble, because when a guy runs through the run zone at the next level, guys do a really good job of playing matchup zone coverage, where they say, all right, I'm gonna match this guy and I'm gonna run with him, and he's coming into my zone. I'll take him from here, and he looks open because he came out of one zone, and now he's going into another guy's zone and he's baiting you. He's over here in cover 3, but he's eyeballing you, and you're taking him straight to the football, and he's falling off. He's sagging off right into that crossing route, and all of a sudden it's a pick. Or you staring down this out route. He's supposed to be going with the deepest on that third, and he's watching you stare this out route down, and instead he sags off of that deep 9 route, that clear out, and he comes underneath and picks off your out route. Timing and anticipation, gotta read the defense. So, lot to discuss with Lamar Jackson. I've got questions, not enough answers at this point. I wouldn't spend a first-round pick on him, but again, someone may fall in love with everything that is Lamar Jackson, and you may see him go off the board in the first round. I wouldn't advise it, but we'll see what happens. You want his score, his overall rating, and where he ranks among these quarterbacks. Check out LouieTNetwork.net for all of these prospects and their ratings moving forward. I'm your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me here on the Prospects 101 series. We're going to switch gears, jump into the running back position. We may double back and jump into a couple more quarterbacks, Mason Rudolph, some of these other guys, Logan Woodside, if we have time. But for the time being, I'm going to jump into the running back position. Got a lot of guys to jump into there. But just remember, we're changing the game. One prospect at a time over here. And yeah, we're changing the game over here. Period. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'm your man, Louie T. See you next time.